1. The cost of constant explanation. There's a quiet cost that often goes unnoticed, the cost of always explaining yourself. Every time you feel the need to justify your actions, your choices, or even your silence, you hand over a piece of your inner peace. It's not always obvious, but it slowly builds over time. You begin to feel responsible for how others interpret you. But the truth is, not everyone will understand you, no matter how clearly you explain, and that's okay. The Stoics taught that our peace should not be dependent on external approval. The more you try to be understood, the more you become entangled in others' expectations. Sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. It's not out of pride, but from a place of clarity. You don't have to explain your worth, your consistency, your choices. And the way you carry yourself will speak more loudly than words ever could. 2. Presence, overreaction in moments of pressure. Our first instinct is often to react, to respond quickly. But real strength is found not in the reaction, but in the space between what happens and how we choose to respond. The Stoics believe that maintaining presence is more powerful than being reactive. When you remain calm and composed, you're not avoiding the situation, you're choosing to stay in control of yourself. In that quiet pause, you gain perspective. You begin to respond with intention instead of emotion. Over time, this steady presence becomes something people notice. Not because you speak often, but because you speak with purpose. And sometimes you don't speak at all. That restraint communicates clarity. It shows that your sense of self is not easily moved by external pressure. Presence doesn't seek attention, and in a world full of noise, calm presence often says the most. 3. Misunderstanding is not defeat. Being misunderstood can feel uncomfortable. It's natural to want to explain yourself, to correct someone's assumptions, or to make things clear. But the truth is, misunderstanding is not the same as failure. Not everyone will see things the way you do, and that's not something you have to fix. The Stoics taught that our peace should not depend on how others perceive us. If someone truly knows you, they don't need an explanation. And if they demand one without listening, they may not be ready to understand. Choosing not to respond doesn't mean you don't care. It means you've chosen a calm path over emotional reaction. It's a sign of maturity, not indifference. Let people have their opinions. Let them think what they will. In time, actions reveal more than words. You don't need to prove your intentions. You just need to keep living them with quiet consistency. 4. Silence can shift the energy sometimes. The most impactful response is simply staying quiet. When someone challenges you or questions your character, there's often a natural pressure to speak up, to explain, to restore balance. But silence, when chosen with intention, can change the entire tone of a moment. It invites others to pause, to reflect, and often to reconsider. The Stoics understood that stillness can influence more than argument. When you don't rush to respond, your calmness creates space. It gives others the opportunity to notice their own behavior without being met with resistance. Silence doesn't mean you're ignoring what's happening. It means you're choosing to stay centered. It allows emotions to settle and clarity to return. In many cases, your presence, your calm expression, or even a thoughtful pause says more than any explanation could. In this way, silence becomes a form of quiet leadership, guiding without force and bringing peace into moments of tension. 5. Strength in being misread. It's not easy to be misread. When people assume something about you that isn't true, the instinct is often to correct them. But there's a quiet strength in choosing not to. The Stoics reminded us that our peace comes not from being understood, but from being stable within ourselves. Not everyone will see your intentions clearly, and that's part of life. You don't have to change every opinion or clear up every misunderstanding. When you know your values, your path, and your purpose, you don't need to explain them constantly. Letting go of the need to be seen a certain way gives you freedom. You no longer react to every comment or criticism. You stay focused on what really matters. In the long run, people come to respect the calm consistency of someone who doesn't argue for their image. You don't lose anything by being misread. You often gain clarity and strength. 6. Stillness is strategic in today's fast-paced world. People often feel the need to respond quickly, especially when they feel challenged or misunderstood. But stillness, the choice to pause, reflect, and remain composed, is not weakness. It's a form of strategy. The Stoics believe that staying calm allows you to see more clearly. When you're still, you're not avoiding the moment, you're managing it wisely. This kind of self-control creates space for better decisions. It keeps you from saying something you might regret and protects your energy from being pulled into unnecessary conflict. When others expect a strong reaction and you remain steady, the dynamic changes. You become less predictable, and that unpredictability brings a quiet kind of influence. Stillness shows that your peace isn't easily disturbed. It allows you to respond from wisdom, not emotion. And in many situations, that steady presence says more than a long explanation ever could. 7. Inner control builds outer respect, true respect. It often begins with how you carry yourself, not just in peaceful times, but especially in moments of pressure. The Stoics taught that self-control is one of the most valuable qualities a person can develop. When you respond with calm instead of reacting with emotion, people take notice. You show that your behavior is guided by thought, not by impulse. This kind of inner stability doesn't need to prove anything. It speaks through consistency, patience, and quiet strength. Others may not always agree with you, but they come to respect your ability to stay composed. Emotional control isn't about holding everything in. It's about choosing when and how to express yourself with care. In conversations, challenges, and disagreements, your calm presence often carries more influence than raised voices or quick replies. With time, people begin to trust and respect those who are steady, thoughtful, and intentional in how they respond. 8. Let your actions speak over time. Words can be important, but actions are what people remember. The Stoics believe that the way you live day by day, decision by decision, says more about your character than any explanation ever could. You don't need to prove your intentions to everyone. When your values guide your behavior, your actions become your statement. Over time, people begin to notice your consistency, your patience, and your steadiness in difficult moments. These are the qualities that earn lasting respect. When others speak loudly or react quickly, your quiet discipline stands out. It doesn't need attention, it simply continues. You build trust not by defending yourself constantly, but by being reliable and thoughtful in how you live. Let people see who you are through how you carry yourself, not through constant explanations. The long run, your actions will speak clearly, often more clearly than anything you could say.